Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl AmandaEnsing, and today we are going to be doing snatch proof, oil proof, sweat proof, summer proof makeup. Like, this ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm always too hyped for summer. Whenever I lived on the East Coast, it was like I was so depressed when the sun wasn't out during winter, and it would be like March and I'm like, summer please, summer please. I mean, honestly, even in February, I'm like, where is summer? And in California right now, it is hot, girl. Like, it is already hot. I'm ready for summer. I know it's gonna be so hot, but I love summer. It's my favorite season. So today I wanted to do a sweat proof foundation base tutorial of my tips and tricks for how to put on your makeup and what to do so it will not move. Whether you live in a hot, humid place or just a hot place, like anything to do with hotness. I mean, I know you guys are hot.
That's hot. That's hot.
You know when you go outside and you just feel like sticky, like you feel like your makeup is melting off and you're like, why did I just spend an hour in front of the mirror and now all of my makeup is sweating off my face? Say no more, because today I got you. I am here for you. I got tips and tricks that is going to change your life and your makeup's not gonna move. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you wanna see how I got this sweat-proof makeup, then just keep watching. Before we get started, I gotta put some lip balm on because my lips feel dry. Also, I'm obsessed with this. It's a new fresh coconut lip balm. It's like a pina colada. It smells good, it tastes good. Got my matcha, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have my matcha. When it comes to base and skin, I'm always the one that will invest. Like, I would invest in a high-end foundation or a primer or skincare over a lipstick or an eyeshadow palette or a bronzer or a powder. So my skin products are a little bit pricier. They're on the Sephora level, but I do have a lot of drugstore products as well. So I'm gonna start by prepping my skin. My skin is normal to dry. You can see like I have a few dry patches on my nose. I used to be very oily, so I have routines on that as well, but I will be giving tips throughout this video for oily skin as well, so I didn't leave you guys out. Just keep that in mind when you watch the video, that some of these products are a little bit more hydrating. I'm gonna start by prepping my skin with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Skin Base. This I love. It has vitamin C in it. It smells really good. It's hydrating and nourishing, but not too much. This actually is good for any skin type. I find being more normal dry that even when products say they're good for any skin type, they aren't always. So I'm gonna take about this much, but this is hydrating enough to where it really just nourishes my skin and makes it feel soft. But it claims to be good for oily skin as well. So I would definitely try it out no matter what skin type. I love it so much because it gives my skin that nice little glow, and as it sinks into the skin, it just leaves your skin looking fresh. It doesn't leave any kind of oily cast or anything behind. Normally I won't do a primer over this. It has a little bit of a tackiness that it leaves, so it grabs to your makeup and it doesn't budge. But for today, we're going extra because we don't want it to move. Now, if you don't use primer, it will change your life. I know it's not a pretty product, like it's not something you put on, you're like, wow, I totally see a difference. But this, I swear to you guys, is so amazing. I have tried so many primers over the last couple of years, and I actually fell in love with this primer a very long time ago, like years ago when I first started my YouTube channel, and I couldn't afford to buy it, so I'd always go to Sephora and get samples. They also sell a smaller size. I had bought that one before. This is the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. It is waterproof, sweat proof. Nothing is gonna come through this primer. It is insane. It's soft, it's silky on the skin. Also, when you put it on, it has a little bit of a light reflectiveness, no shimmer or anything, but it doesn't make your skin look flat. I know a lot of us that have oily skin don't wanna look oily, so we try to look as matte as possible, but then we still want that dewy glow, but it's like, you can't do it because you're gonna sweat and get oily anyways. This will be your best friend because you can add as much highlighter as you want and your oils aren't gonna come through. The closest dupe to this that I have found is the NYX Angel Veil. That's a really, really good comparable product. It's not quite as good, but I do love that primer. So if you're on a budget and you're like, no, I can't, try the NYX Angel Veil. If you get this, you won't regret it. Like, your makeup will not move. It is the best thing in the entire world. And I'm telling you, like, if I had to pick between investing in anything in this video, it would be this primer. So I'm just putting this all over my skin. I'm self-tan right now, so that's why my face is so white, because I don't have any tanner on my face. So ignore that. We about to fix that right now. Now it's time for foundation. There are so many amazing foundations out there. My personal favorites are in the drugstore. I love high-end foundations. Foundation is also something that I will personally invest in because it's your skin. However, I really have a soft spot for drugstore foundations, especially Maybelline foundations. I think that they are my favorite. So today I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour foundation. I love this so much. Comes with a pump. Hello, what more could you ask for? This gives your skin a satin finish. Like I said, I am more normal dry, so I kind of stray away from more matte foundations, but this is perfect. It leaves me just matte enough, and it's full coverage if you want it to be. You can build it up to have as much coverage as you want, but it doesn't feel heavy or cakey on the skin. I love it so much. It's my current favorite drugstore foundation. I'm gonna be using my beauty blender. I just cleaned it, but it still looks dirty. I don't know if any of you guys have that problem, but with the pink one, I feel like I can never get it to look clean. This is my favorite tool just because it really blends the product into the skin. It looks airbrushed and it doesn't soak in a lot of product. Sometimes with brushes, when you put it in the brush soaks so much product in there, and then you use so much more and you waste more. So I prefer a beauty blender. So I'm gonna use this. I've already wet it, so it's ready to go. So the trick to applying the foundation is starting on the outer edges of the face. Don't start in the center, start on the outer edges and work your way inwards. The reason that I do this is because when you start on the outside, you're putting more product on this part of your face, and as you work inwards, the product gets less and less. And especially if you are oily, most of us tend to get oily in our T-zone, which is the center of our face and right here. So you want to use the least amount of product as possible just so it doesn't get everywhere. And I used one pump. Like, do you see how far this foundation goes? It's really, really great. Again, I'm gonna start on the outer edge of my face and work inwards. You can see like I had a pretty bad blemish right there, and I barely put any product and it covered it up really well. So I'm really just taking whatever's left on my sponge for the center of my face. Now for my forehead, I tend to not use that much foundation. I never focus too much product here because again, you don't want it to get oily. Try to use as minimal product as possible when you know that you're gonna be in hot temperature outside. Now we're gonna move on to concealer. I love concealer. Who doesn't love concealer? It makes you look alive. I don't look like a zombie. Right now I'm looking pretty rough. These are two of my favorite concealers. I have a drugstore option and a higher end option. This one is from Sephora. It's the Urban Decay Naked Concealer. This stuff is like paint in the best way possible. I know that sounds super harsh, but it doesn't budge. It's a lot of coverage. It's really long wearing, but still thin and hydrating. I love this concealer. And then I have the LA Girl Pro Conceal. I think they might have gone up on the price, but I think it's $3.99. It's amazing. I love it so, so much. This is in the shade Pure Beige. I usually use Creamy Beige. I'm like out. I just bought a new one, so I should probably go get that. But today, which one do I want to use? Let's use the LA Girl today. I'm gonna take Pure Beige since I am self-tan, and then maybe we'll add some Creamy Beige on top. So I'm gonna go underneath my eyes. And I'm also going on my eyelids because this is going to be my primer today. I wish they would come out with this concealer with an applicator instead of the brush and squeeze tube, because sometimes it can be kind of annoying, but the formula is so bomb. Like, I use it anyways, but yeah. On my nose, I'm gonna add just a tiny bit. If you don't have blemishes on your nose, then try not to add too much. I still wanna highlight, but I'm not gonna go crazy. Also gonna go the corners of my mouth to highlight, and right here, and around my nose. All right, so taking my beauty blender, I'm gonna start blending out the concealer. One thing I started doing recently is blending my eyes last, and I totally just did it first, but I will blend everywhere else. I put concealer, and then once I blend it out everywhere else, I go to eyes last since my eyes crease the soonest. When I do my concealer, I try to do it pretty quickly, and then I try to set pretty quickly, because if not, you have to go back and blend, because you don't want to set your concealer if it's creased. If your concealer is creased already and then you set it, the powder won't fix that. You have to blend it out with your finger, brush, sponge, whatever you're using, and then set it. Do you see how bomb this concealer is? I love it. It's so good. Don't sleep on this concealer. It's amazing. I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier powder to set. I feel like most people know about this powder. It's amazing. It's a classic. I kind of feel like Laura Mercier became known for this powder in the last here or so. So for my nose, I'm gonna set like all of my nose, okay? I'm gonna do the sides of my nose. And I'm also gonna do on top of my nose, because if you wear sunglasses, you know when you get that crease from your sunglasses, I always get so many questions about it, how to prevent it, because I know it's super annoying because your makeup gets messed up. Powder the shit out of your nose when you're doing your makeup, like seriously, and let it bake. I'm making sure to really press the powder into the skin. I don't want to leave it just sitting on top. Like I keep going back and I'm pressing it into my skin, and then I'll dust off the excess. But I'm really working on working that powder into the skin so it becomes one with the skin, so it doesn't look super powdery. Like you can still see I have too much powder on, but I'm working it into the face. Especially in this area right here too, I tend to get oily right here. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Just anywhere you get oily. And use a beauty blender if you have one, or any kind of sponge. And the water on the sponge kind of helps press in the powder as well. I'm gonna let it bake for a couple of minutes. While it does, I wanted to tell you guys, this is my favorite drugstore translucent setting powder. The only reason I didn't use it is because this is the medium shade and I thought maybe it would work, but it's a little bit too dark. I usually use the shade above this. I think it's light, and the only other one I had was fair, and I think I took it with me when I traveled last, so I think it might be upstairs in my room, so that's why I didn't use it today. But if I did, I would definitely use this because it's so good. Like it's so comparable to the Laura Mercier one, but it's a drugstore price. So if you're looking for a more affordable drugstore powder, get the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. It's so good. I know you guys have seen me use it so much. It's amazing. I'm gonna take a little fluffy brush. I'm gonna dip back into the powder, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna go back and dust anything left setting on the face. So at this point, you wanna go in and use any kind of face powder if you're using a face powder in addition to setting. If you're oily, you might wanna do this. For me, I don't typically do it just because this is enough for me and I know it's not gonna go anywhere, but I wanna show you guys my favorite face powder. This stuff is so freaking good. I really, really like this powder. It's the Smashbox Photo Filter Creamy Foundation. It's a powder foundation. This is in the shade number 3. And this is like my skin tone when I'm not tan, but I can still use it. It's fine. It's so soft and creamy. Like it just feels like butter, and it's one of my favorite powder foundations. It comes with a little sponge, and that's actually what I'm gonna use because I'm gonna show you guys. You can use a brush if you prefer. I don't mind the sponge because it's really dense. So if you're using it just to set, I like to press into the powder, and then I'm gonna go right here and just press this into the skin. It's also gonna add a little bit of coverage, so just keep that in mind. Like you don't wanna go too ham and then you feel like your makeup looks cakey, but I'm just gonna press this onto my nose and the sides of my nose for that extra punch, and then I'll also go on my forehead and on my chin. This is a great touch-up powder as well, and you can even take a brush, I'm just gonna show you, and add it on. And now you have 2 layers of powder, but it still doesn't look too powdery. It doesn't look like too much. The skin still looks very skin-like, and we'll still have an extra step at the end that'll make it look even more like skin, but even without setting it or anything, it looks good. It looks fresh. It doesn't look powdery. It doesn't look cakey. It looks good. So now that the skin is locked, I'm gonna go and do my eyes and the rest of my face. I'm gonna take my Hoola bronzer from Benefit, and I'm gonna bronze. And this brush is from a Morphe set. It's from the Rose Gold set. I'm gonna take some of the Essence Banana Powder, and I'm just gonna go underneath of my contour. Gotta snatch this nose. I would definitely stay away from cream bronzers. Like if you're worried about it sweating off, don't use cream anything except for foundation. NARS Orgasm Blush, oldie but a goodie. If you don't own this blush, it's like, oh, it's so pretty. I know it's been around for a long time. It's been a cult favorite for a long time, but I never get over the way that it looks. It's just like the perfect glow to the skin. I'm also gonna take some on the sides of my nose. And I like to do this because it gives a little sunburn effect, is what I like to call it, but it makes your face look sun-kissed. I'm gonna mix 2 highlighters today. I'm gonna start with Trophy Wife, and I'm using my Laura Mercier fan brush. I love this brush for highlighting so much. All right, so now that we got that, I'm then gonna go in with this Milani highlight. I picked this up at Target like last week. This is #1 strobe light. It's like more of a champagne. So I'm just gonna put some on top. It's gonna neutralize the yellow a little bit in Trophy Wife. I'm extra. I love like mixing highlights and lipsticks and like creating my own custom color. I'm gonna continue mixing the two colors. I'm gonna put some on my nose, like that, and then also between my eyes, and then on my Cupid's bow. Just like that. I'm also going to hit my brow bone. And hitting all of these places on the face, this is what I normally hit with my highlight. It just adds this luminosity and glow to the skin that looks like you're glowing from within, but it's really just your highlight strategically placed on the high points of the face. And it fakes a glow, even though my skin is very matte right now, it looks very luminous. That's what I love about highlight, is you can fake a glow. And I love it. I'm also gonna go on my décolletage. I'm actually wearing the new Sol de Janeiro Copacabana body oil. I got it yesterday. We got to celebrate the launch and it's so pretty. I'm just gonna highlight these high points of my body, and right now I'm just using Trophy Wife and it looks unreal. I love highlighter so much, you guys. I can't wait to create my own. I'm gonna go do my eyes off camera and then I'll be back with our finishing touches. All right, so I just used the NYX Nude Truffle Lip Pencil on my lips. I'm gonna take the ColourPop Shayla Collab in the shade Quickie. This is one of her lipsticks. I think it's like my new favorite nude. And I'm gonna go on top. I'm gonna top it off with her gloss that she made called Neat Freak. Look at how shimmery and beautiful. So I'm gonna take this right on top. The last step is setting spray, and this is going to lock, seal everything that you already have. It's just like one of those just in case. In addition to setting your makeup, it's also going to normalize the face, which means if you feel like you put too much powder or if it looks too powdery, this is going to normalize it, take all of the powdery look away, and then it's gonna look more like skin. Now my skin is looking good. It doesn't look too powdery. The way I applied everything, like the steps that I showed you, doing it this way, you shouldn't have an issue with that, but this is just going to add that extra level of protection, which we all can use whenever it's hot. So I have two that I want to show you guys. This one is the De-Slick from Urban Decay. This is a staple. It's so good. All of Urban Decay setting sprays are really good. De-Slick is for oily skin. They also have Chill. They have the All Nighter. They have a bunch of different sprays for different skin types, different concerns. So this is a good one. The one that I'm going to use today is the Too Faced one. I really, really like this one as well. This is the Peach Mattifying Mist. It smells so good. It has peach and sweet fig. It smells so delicious. So I'm going to take this, close my eyes and my mouth. Now we are locked and loaded. Like, we are ready to go out. We are done and we still have some matcha left. So this is the final look. I hope this video was helpful. I hope that you guys learned some cool little tips and tricks. Let me know what you think. Let me know any requests for future videos down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the look. I love doing summer makeup tutorials. I want to do a bunch this summer. I feel like I'm like getting the head start into summer because it's already warm here in California. So I'm just like, bring on the summer. I actually swam today in the pool and it felt amazing. It's time for this video's A-team shout out. I'm sorry I haven't been verbally doing all of them in the video. If I ever forget, I include them at the end of the video in like a little screen cap. But today's shout out goes to Afra Alam. She said, I really needed to see this video. Like, the growth and glow up is so inspiring. Keep being you, Amanda. Love these raw and real videos. Also, these edits got me so weak. LOL. Hashtag notification squad. Hashtag A-team. Thank you for this positive comment and the love. Like, you really made my day. I love you. Thank you as always for watching. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit subscribe. Join my A-team. I love you guys so much. And I will catch you on Wednesday in my next video. Bye, guys. Yes. I just did it. Trying to clock me?